for the week of Thursday, April 16th. Are the fundamental tenets of federalism coming unraveled? Are his near-daily Jeremiads against the White House press corps a sign that President Trump is coming unraveled? Is it possible that an accusation of misconduct could lead to Vice President Biden's good guy image coming unraveled? Does anyone still actually remember a time when things were actually raveled? And is raveled even a word? Our guest in quarantine from Los Angeles, Knoxville, Tennessee, upstate New York, and Raleigh will help us try to answer those questions and maybe even stumble upon an answer to the question, how the heck are we going to get along? Hey, I'm Clay Aiken, and this is Politicon's How the Heck Are We Gonna Get Along? Our panel this week is incredible as always. Conservative commentator and on-air host at The Daily Wire, Elisha Krauss is with us. Executive editor at Above the Law and justice correspondent for The Nation, Elie Mystal is with us. Writer, director, occasional health inspector at Bob's Burgers, and host of the daily political podcast, The Majority Report with Sam Seder. Sam Seder's here.
Hi.
And three-time WWE world champion wrestler known to millions as Kane, but best known now to the citizens of Knox County, Tennessee as Mr. Mayor. Mayor Glenn Jacobs is with us today.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
I like to say y'all. Yeah, I like to say y'all.
Hey, listen, you're
from East Tennessee.
You're with a Southerner here. I'm from North Carolina. I'm not too far away, so I understand that kind of talk. How's everybody doing during the quarantine? What are we in week 4 now?
And are we? All the days roll together.
It really totally has completely together. Sam, you were talking about how they ship alcohol now. Is that true?
Yes, I've found just about every place on the East Coast that will ship alcohol. I can give you a rundown of how long it takes to get to my location.
Are they faster than Amazon is now?
Well, it depends. I mean, I have a whole relay system that is set up. I've got people on dog sleds and horses that bring it to me. So
I can use that information, Sam, because I am on week 5 of quarantine, because I pretty much started self-quarantine once Mike Pence was put in charge of praying away the coronavirus.
How are you holding up? What are you doing? Is there anything you're watching, listening to? What are you doing to get you through this quarantine, Elie?
Well, for me, I'm a video game guy in normal times, and that is just really heightened during the quarantine. I suggest to everybody, pull out the PlayStation, pull out your Steam account. It's a good way to socialize. I still play with my friends kind of, every weekend. Instead of going out to the bar, we play Destiny or we play even Fortnite, which I hate, but I'll play to get some social interaction. When I want to go out, I play a game called No Man's Sky, and I go fly from planet to planet and immerse myself there. So I have lots of entertainment that keeps me away from watching Tiger King. And other than getting the coronavirus, the only other thing I'm concerned about is protecting myself from Tiger King.
Wait, you have still not seen it?
I have still not seen it.
Oh, how dare you. Elisha, have you?
I just have to say, as someone from Oklahoma, no, Joe Exotic does not represent all Okies. Like, we are not like that, okay? So just putting that out there.
But listen, if y'all were, I would love you, because that's exactly what my family all looks and acts like.
I feel like Joe is very much more Florida man than Oklahoma man, at least based on my time in both of those places. But I would recommend watching Joe Exotic. I actually have a friend whose husband is a defense attorney, and he is gung ho about working on his case. And I told him he needs to turn it into a podcast, because
what he needs to do is go take on Carol's case, because Carol's going to get indicted for having her husband.
All right, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Oh, Sam, you're representing her. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. I have not had time to watch. I'm actually busier than I've ever been. I've got to do my show 5 days a week, and I do a morning show as well. And then, I'm sequestered with my kids, and so I don't have a babysitter. So I've got to, and now they're doing homeschooling. So I'm exhausted, and I guess I'm just leaning very heavily, like we said at the beginning of this, on bourbon, mostly. Mostly bourbon.
Parenting is hard.
I've been drinking far too much, and I have also I'm a natural extrovert. I'm sure a lot of us are. Like, we're in politics and media, so we have to be, right. But I haven't realized that I need my mommy time, my alone time. and I need to figure out how to do that. But I've been baking a lot, and I'm pleasantly surprised at all the tasty things I've been making. So if you guys want some kumquat marmalade or anything from the Krauss house, let me know and I'll ship it to you.
Oh, well, we might kumquat marmalade. I don't know about, but I might take you up on some food because I'm putting out of business.
Is it fermented? Because I could be in on that.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sure you are somewhat busy taking care of your constituents, but have you had time to watch or do anything to relax or try to unwind or decompress from what you're having to deal with day to day?
I've been digging through my attic looking for relics. I found the Bill of Rights. We don't seem to follow that anymore, so that was a good find for me.
That was fun. So are you saying you're cleaning the attic, or are you going to look?
Well, I was just going through it. I was thinking of things that are no longer used in our society, and I came across the Bill of Rights, and I was like, "Wow, we used to have this thing, and we don't."
Bill of Rights just sitting in your attic.
Yeah.
Which one do you think we're ignoring the most right now? Which one of them? Because I think some folks would argue that maybe the 11th or the 10th.
Well, no, but that's not part of the Bill of Rights. It's only the first 10.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, you're talking about that.
That's why I taught special ed instead of American history.
I would argue that the 1st, 4th, and 5th, most of all. But I think the whole thing is kind of ancient history at this point.
The first one because of religion, the first one because of free press. Which part of the First Amendment do you think is being abandoned the most?
Religion and assembly, of course, and in some cases, freedom of speech too. Because you've seen some folks try to, in politics and elected officials, threaten social media and people for putting out false information. The 4th, because we have an implicit right to travel with the protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, and the 5th, because we have due process, and you can't just shut things down without any due process, which is what's happened. So anyway, it was a good idea, but doesn't look like it turned out that great in the end.
The Bill of Rights was a good idea, but doesn't seem to be working. Sam, do you agree? Elie, do you agree? Do you think that we're ignoring people's due process rights by not letting them by shutting businesses down?
No, I personally don't. I think if people want to take a case to the courts and argue that that's the case, I'd be interested to see how that lands. I think Elie would have a better sense of this, but none of these rights are absolute. They're a function of a valid state's interest, and I think.
Actually, that's not having nowhere in the Bill of Rights does it say that we will lift these in case of. And in fact, I think what we'd ask the founders is they would say they are absolute.
Hey, I'm Clay Aiken. To hear the full episode, subscribe to This Politicon podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to pods. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Go to Politicon.com, follow @Politicon on social media, and listen to a new pod episode of How the Heck every Thursday.